Look at how we usually picture Zeus, the undisputed ruler of Mount Olympus, untouchable. But that golden throne was never built on divine right. It was built on violent familial betrayal. The blueprint for this violence was laid generations earlier. Long before Zeus, the cosmos was ruled by the primordial sky god, Uranus. Uranus despised his own children, imprisoning them deep within the earth. In response, his youngest son, Cronus, ambushed him, castrated him, and seized the universe by sudden, violent force. With the crown came a warning. A prophecy dictated that Cronus would eventually suffer the exact same fate, overthrown by his own offspring. The foundation of the Greek cosmos was a repeating loop of paranoia. The ruling generation lived in constant terror of the children meant to replace them. To prevent the prophecy from coming true, Cronus took an extreme approach. Whenever his wife Rhea gave birth, Cronus would immediately swallow the newborn whole. Rhea watched 5 of her children disappear into her husband's stomach. When it was time to deliver her 6th, she chose deception. She handed Cronus a stone wrapped in swaddling clothes and smuggled the actual infant, Zeus, to his secret cave on the island of Crete. Zeus survived his isolation on Crete by calculating his return. He spent these years drafting a political and military strategy to dismantle the Titans' hold on the cosmos. His plans certainly required him to rescue his swallowed siblings, but his ultimate objective was absolute authority. He intended to tear the crown and keep it for himself. Upon reaching adulthood, Zeus made his first move. He secured an emetic potion, a severe toxin, from the oceanid Medes and slipped it to his father. The poison forced Cronus to violently regurgitate the 5 older siblings, who emerged fully grown. Even reunited, the 6 young gods were completely outmatched by the entrenched power of the Titans. Zeus needed a massive upgrade in military capability. He descended deep into the earth, assassinated the guard monster Campe, and broke open the cells of the primordial prisoners his father had locked away, the one-eyed Cyclopes and the 100-handed Hecatoncheires. He orchestrated a strictly transactional alliance. In exchange for their freedom, the Cyclopes forged a weapon of mass destruction specifically for Zeus, the Thunderbolt. He then turned to political bargaining. He broadcast a message across the cosmos, promising that any deity who defected to his side would retain their domains and be elevated in his new regime. The river goddess Styx was the first to accept, bringing her formidable children to bolster his ranks. Zeus bypassed any claim to destiny. He built a winning coalition through calculated bribery, strategic assassinations, and the acquisition of the ultimate battlefield technology. The opposing forces locked into a stalemate. The new Olympians fortified themselves on Mount Olympus, while Cronus and the Titans entrenched their armies directly across from them on Mount Othries. What followed was a brutal 10-year conflict. The earth shook as the old, untamed chaos of the Titans collided with the hyper-ambitious new gods. The stalemate broke only when Zeus stepped forward and unleashed his newly forged arsenal. He rained continuous, blinding thunderbolts from the sky, scorching the land and overwhelming the Titan defenses. Cronus finally collapsed under the assault. The defeated Titans were bound and dragged down into Tartarus, a dark abyss deep beneath the surface of the earth. Zeus had won. He imposed his version of order on the universe, proving that this new stability required absolute, terrifying violence to achieve. With the war over, Zeus claimed Mount Olympus as his permanent seat of power. He distributed domains among his siblings and began his reign over a supposedly balanced universe. The silence of his new reign brought a massive psychological toll. Sitting at the top, Zeus knew exactly how fragile his position was, because his crown was stolen from his own father. The exact same fear that drove Cronus to devour his children now crept into the mind of the son. Zeus realized he was surrounded by gods who had already proven they knew how to stage a coup. Then his lingering anxiety was validated. A new prophecy arrived from the Fates, the weavers of destiny. The Fates delivered a devastating message. A son of your line will rise. He will be greater than the father. The grand rebellion ended right where it began. Zeus stepped into the exact footprint his father left behind. He became the new paranoid ruler, clutching his throne, waiting for the day his own blood would tear him down.